Imagine this. What if you could walk into any room, speak to any person, and connect so deeply that your presence alone changed the atmosphere? That is not magic. It is emotional intelligence, and it is a skill you can learn. Like this video. Subscribe now. Share with someone you care about. Comment below. I choose emotional power. Let the world know that you are ready to change your life. Now, let us begin the real journey. Have you ever looked at someone who seemed so calm under pressure, so graceful when life fell apart, and wondered, how do they do it? They are not lucky. They are not superhuman. They have learned something powerful, something many of us were never taught. It is not IQ. It is not talent. It is something deeper. It is called emotional intelligence, or EQ. EQ is not just about being aware of your feelings. It is about mastering them. It is about turning emotion into wisdom and turning connection into power. When you develop your EQ, you become a magnet for trust, a source of strength, a leader in your home, your job, your life. Think about it. What if, instead of reacting with anger, you responded with calm? Instead of shrinking in fear, you stood tall in clarity? What if you could transform every conversation, every relationship, simply by mastering what happens inside you? That is what this journey is about. In this series, we will break it down, not with theory, but with tools, not with fluff, but with focus. You will learn how to understand your emotions deeply, control your reactions, even in chaos, motivate yourself when the world gives you nothing, empathize with others, even when you disagree, and build social power that brings people to your side. But let us begin with the first key, understanding emotional intelligence. So, what is emotional intelligence? At its heart, EQ is the ability to recognize your emotions, understand why they happen, and respond to them with awareness. Not react, not ignore, but pause, reflect, and choose your next move with intention. It is like having a mirror inside you and a compass to guide you. But EQ is not only inward, it is also outward. It is how well you read other people, how well you listen, not just with ears, but with your heart, how you sense what is unspoken. That is empathy. That is connection. That is the beginning of mastery. There are 5 pillars of emotional intelligence. Self-awareness, knowing how you feel and why. Self-regulation, controlling your emotions before they control you. Motivation, driving yourself forward, even when you want to give up. Empathy, feeling what others feel and responding with care. Social skills, building relationships that last with words that heal. These 5 pillars are not separate. They build on each other. They strengthen each other. Together, they create a strong, grounded, emotionally wise you. Now ask yourself, are you ready to turn stress into strength? Are you ready to connect, lead, and love with wisdom? Are you ready to stop reacting and start choosing? If so, then this is your time. Let us begin with the first pillar in the next section, self-awareness. Because until you see yourself clearly, you cannot change. You cannot grow. You cannot lead. But once you do, everything changes. Take a breath. Now ask yourself, how are you feeling right now? Tired? Calm? Anxious? Hopeful? Can you name it? Can you trace it? That right there is the beginning of self-awareness. It is the first step toward mastering emotional intelligence. The most important step, because if you do not know what you feel, You will always be at the mercy of those feelings. Let me give you a scene. You wake up, your chest feels tight, your mood is heavy, you snap at your loved ones, you feel stressed, but you do not know why. The day controls you. Your emotions push you around. You become reactive, unbalanced, lost. Now imagine this. Same morning, same feeling. But instead of rushing, you pause, you breathe, you ask, what am I feeling? And more importantly, why? You realize you are overwhelmed. Too many tasks, too little sleep, too much noise in your mind. So you choose. You write it down. You speak it calmly. You take a short walk. You respond instead of react. That is self-awareness. It is not just about noticing emotions. It is about understanding them. It is about naming them. It is about taking ownership. You stop saying, I do not know what is wrong with me. And you start saying, I feel irritated because I am exhausted. That shift changes everything, because when you name it, you can tame it. Here is why self-awareness matters. Without it, you are blind. You repeat patterns. You react to people. You make choices based on feelings you do not understand. You hurt others. You hurt yourself. But with self-awareness, you see clearly. You understand your triggers. You spot the patterns. And slowly, you take back control. It is not about perfection. It is about progress. About being one step wiser, one breath calmer, one word kinder. So, how do you build self-awareness? Start with this: daily reflection. Set aside 5 minutes. Just 5. Ask yourself, what did I feel today? What triggered those emotions? How did I respond? Write it down. No filter, no judgment, just truth. Over time, you will see patterns. You will see what lifts you. You will see what drains you. You will understand yourself. That is power. The second tool, mindfulness. Sit still. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Feel your body. Let emotions rise. Do not chase them. Do not fight them. Just notice. This is how you become emotionally awake, present, grounded, aware. Another tool, emotional check-ins. Set an alarm. 3 times a day. Ask yourself, how do I feel right now? Be honest. Be curious. No shame. Treat your emotions like signals, not enemies. They are trying to tell you something. Listen. The 4th tool, feedback. Yes, it is uncomfortable, but it is necessary. Ask people you trust. How do I react when I am stressed? Do I listen when I am upset? What is it like to talk to me during conflict? Do not defend. Just hear. Then reflect. Sometimes others can see what we cannot. And finally, know your values. Ask yourself, what matters most to me? What do I stand for? What do I want to protect? When you know your values, you make better decisions. You feel more at peace. You live more aligned. Self-awareness is not a luxury. It is survival. It is clarity. It is peace. You cannot lead others. Until you can lead yourself, you cannot control your reactions. Until you understand your emotions. Start now. Pause. Breathe. Feel. Own your truth. That is the beginning of emotional power. Picture this. You are in a meeting. Someone says something disrespectful. Your heart races. Your fists clench. You feel heat rising in your face. The old version of you would snap, speak harshly, maybe storm out. But not today. Today you pause. You breathe. You stay present. And then you choose your response. Not to impress others, but because you are in control. That is self-regulation. The second key to mastering your emotions. Self-regulation is not about ignoring emotions. It is about managing them, using them, directing them with purpose. It is the difference between reaction and response. Reactions are fast, emotional, impulsive. Responses are thoughtful, calm, intentional. Why does this matter? Because life will test you. People will disappoint you. Stress will show up. Conflicts will happen. But you get to choose who you become in those moments. Without self-regulation, emotions control you. With self-regulation, you become the master. Let us make this real. Have you ever sent a message you later regretted? Spoken in anger and watched it destroy trust? Felt overwhelmed and shut down completely? That is what happens when emotions hijack logic. But it does not have to be that way. So, how do you practice self-regulation? Start with this. When emotions rise, do not rush. Stop. Take one deep breath, then another. Count to 5. Feel your body. Let the emotion move through you without letting it explode. That small pause can save your peace, can save a relationship, can change your day. Second tool, reframing thoughts. Our emotions come from our thoughts. So change the thought and you shift the emotion. Example, someone cuts you off in traffic. Your first thought is, what a horrible person. Your emotion? Anger. But what if you reframe? What if they are rushing to the hospital? What if they just made a mistake? Now, your emotion shifts. You feel compassion instead of rage. Same event, different mindset, better peace. That is self-regulation. Next, grounding techniques. When emotions run high, anchor yourself. Try this. Place your feet firmly on the ground. Focus on the feel of the floor. Notice your breath. Touch something cold. Say out loud, I am safe. I am present. Grounding brings you back. Back to now. Back to clarity. Back to yourself. Fourth, emotional awareness. To regulate emotions, you must first notice them. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Where is it in my body? What triggered it? This awareness lets you catch emotions before they spiral. Anger often begins with tightness in the chest, anxiety with shallow breath, sadness with a heavy body. Learn your signals. Listen early. Act wisely. Next, stress relief habits. Chronic stress destroys emotional balance. You must care for your nervous system. Try these. Move your body every day. Get enough sleep. Eat food that fuels peace. Meditate, even for 5 minutes. Laugh. Cry. Breathe. Do not wait for burnout. Build recovery into your routine. Another tool, healthy coping strategies. Do not numb your feelings. Feel them, and then choose healthy outlets. Try journaling. Call a friend. Take a walk. Pray. Paint. Breathe. Avoid destructive habits. Avoid blame. Avoid silence. Your emotions deserve care, not chaos. Self-regulation is not easy, but it is powerful. It separates those who fall apart from those who rise strong. It helps you lead with grace, speak with purpose, and stay grounded even when the world shakes. Remember this, you are not weak for feeling. You are strong for choosing your response. Every time you pause, you grow. Every time you calm the storm inside, you become wiser, more trusted, more free. The world needs calm leaders, balanced hearts, centered minds. Be that person. Have you ever felt stuck? You knew what to do, but you could not start. You kept waiting, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for motivation. Let me tell you the truth. Motivation is not something you wait for. It is something you create. It does not come from outside. It starts from within. Motivation is emotional. It is not just a goal on paper. It is the energy that pushes you forward. It is the voice inside that says, keep going. Try again. Do not quit now. Motivation is the third pillar of emotional intelligence, and without it, the other skills lose power. You can know your emotions. You can control your reactions. But if you have no drive, you stay still. You stop growing. So where does motivation come from? There are two types, extrinsic and intrinsic. Extrinsic motivation comes from rewards, money, praise, trophies, deadlines. It can work, but it fades quickly. Once the reward is gone, so is the drive. Then there is intrinsic motivation. This comes from within. It is personal, emotional, powerful. You do it because it matters, because it feels right, because it connects with your purpose. Intrinsic motivation lasts longer. It is rooted in values. It keeps burning, even when things get hard. So, how do you build lasting motivation? Start with this. Set meaningful goals. Not just big ones, but clear ones. A vague goal like get healthy is not enough. Be specific. I will walk 30 minutes every morning to clear my mind and strengthen my body. That is clear. That has purpose. The clearer your goal, the stronger your motivation. Second, find your why. Ask yourself, why does this goal matter? What is the emotional reason? Do you want more energy to play with your kids? Do you want to build something that makes a difference? Do you want to prove to yourself that you can rise? Your why gives your goal life. Without it, you will quit. With it, you will keep going no matter what. Next, break your goals into steps. Big dreams feel heavy. They scare the mind. They drain the soul. So break them. Turn one mountain into 10 small hills. Example, want to write a book? Start with one paragraph, then one page, then one chapter. Progress creates momentum, and momentum feeds motivation. Now celebrate your wins. Every step forward counts. Every tiny victory deserves praise. Finished a workout? Celebrate. Said no to a bad habit? Celebrate. You are training your brain to love progress. That love becomes fuel. Fifth, stay accountable. Share your goal with someone you trust. A friend, a coach, a partner. Tell them your plan. Check in weekly. Let them remind you of your why when you forget. We are more consistent when someone is watching. Not to judge, but to support. And here is something powerful. Visualize success. Close your eyes. See it. See yourself finishing that project. See yourself crossing the finish line. Smiling. Proud. Strong. Feel that moment. Let it light a fire inside. What the mind can see, the body can achieve. Also, surround yourself with fire. Stay near people who believe in growth. People who rise when life is heavy. People who push you to be your best. Their energy becomes yours. Their hope becomes your fuel. Your circle shapes your strength. Motivation is not magic. It is not a feeling that just shows up. It is a system. It is a mindset. It is a choice. You do not have to feel ready. You just have to begin. Each small action builds belief. Each choice builds identity. You become the person who does, not the person who waits. Let today be the day. You stop hesitating. You stop doubting. Start, even if it is messy, even if it is slow. even if it scares you, because once you move, motivation follows. Pause for a moment. Think of someone close to you, someone who is hurting, not telling you directly, but you can feel it. You sense their energy. Their silence speaks. That moment, when you feel what they feel, that is empathy. It is not sympathy. It is not pity. It is presence. It is connection. It is understanding without judgment. Empathy is the fourth pillar of emotional intelligence, and it is the heart of it all. Without empathy, you may be smart, you may be calm, you may even be successful, but you will be distant, disconnected, alone. With empathy, you become powerful, trusted, loved. Empathy means this: I see you, I feel you. I may not have the same story, but I understand your pain, and I do not rush to fix you. I just sit with you, so you do not have to suffer alone. That is rare. That is beautiful. That is human. Empathy shows up in three powerful ways. First, cognitive empathy. This is mental. You understand how someone thinks. You grasp their view. You see life through their lens. It helps in communication, in problem solving, in negotiation. Second, emotional empathy. This is deeper. You feel what they feel. Their sadness becomes your sadness. Their joy becomes your joy. It builds trust. It creates bonds. Third, compassionate empathy. This is action. You understand. You feel. And you respond. You bring comfort. You offer help. You do something kind. This is the empathy that changes lives. So, why does empathy matter? Because people are not problems to solve. They are stories to hear, hearts to hold, minds to respect. Empathy makes you a better friend, a better partner, a better human. It helps you resolve conflict. It builds bridges across disagreements. It calms storms in relationships. It is not weakness. It is strength. Let me show you how empathy works. Someone lashes out at you. They seem cold, rude, dismissive. Without empathy, you react. You get defensive. You fight back, or you walk away. But with empathy, you pause. You wonder, what pain are they carrying? You ask, what are they not saying? You choose to listen, not to reply, but to understand. You respond with grace, and that grace may be exactly what they needed. That is emotional intelligence in motion. But empathy is not just for others. It is for you too. Be kind to yourself. Feel your own pain. Respect your own emotions. If you cannot give empathy to yourself, you will struggle to give it to others. Now, how do you grow your empathy? Here is the first step. Listen, not just with your ears, with your eyes, with your heart. Put the phone down. Face them fully. Let them speak. Do not interrupt. Hear the words, but also hear the emotion behind the words. That is true listening. Second, ask questions. Say things like, what is going on in your heart right now? How can I support you? What do you need most today? Questions open doors. They say, I care. Third, observe nonverbal cues. People do not always say what they feel, but their body speaks. Watch their posture. Notice their eyes. Feel the tension in the room. When you tune into body language, you feel what is unspoken. Fourth, drop judgment. People are not perfect. Neither are you. Empathy does not say, you are right. It says, I am here. You do not need to agree. You just need to care. Fifth, share your own truth. Empathy is not one-sided. If you want connection, be vulnerable too. Share your story, your struggles, your fears. It invites others to open up. and it makes the space safe. Empathy takes courage. It takes practice. It takes heart. But when you live with empathy, you transform lives. You build trust. You break walls. You heal hearts. And sometimes, that is all someone needs. Not a solution, not advice, just you, listening, feeling, caring. Think of someone you trust, someone who makes you feel safe, heard, understood. When they speak, you listen. When you speak, they listen. You feel a connection, natural, effortless, real. That is the result of strong social skills. Not just charm, not just small talk, but true connection. Social skills are the final pillar of emotional intelligence. They are the bridge between what you feel and how you show up in the world. Without social skills, all the other emotional tools remain locked inside. But when you learn to connect, you unlock doors, opportunities, relationships, respect. Social skills are not just for extroverts. They are for everyone, for leaders, for listeners, for quiet minds with loud hearts. Social skills are not about being loud. They are about being present. They are about knowing how to listen, when to speak, and how to make others feel valued. Let us break it down. There are 5 core elements of strong social skills: effective communication, conflict resolution, influence and persuasion, collaboration, emotional presence in social spaces. Each one matters. Each one builds real power. Start with communication. This is not just about talking. It is about expressing clearly and, more importantly, listening deeply. Good communicators use simple language. They make others feel safe. They ask questions. They speak from the heart, but they also listen without interrupting, without drifting, without judgment. They reflect back what they hear, so the other person knows they were truly understood. Next is conflict resolution, because disagreements are part of life, but fights, they are optional. Socially intelligent people stay calm during conflict. They listen first, then respond, not to win, but to understand. They look for common ground. They ask, what are we really trying to say here? What matters most right now? They do not shame. They do not blame. They solve. Then comes influence. This is not manipulation. It is inspiration. It is the ability to move hearts, to align goals, to lead with purpose. You do this by understanding others, by knowing what drives them, and by showing how your vision matches theirs. You speak with clarity. You lead with values. And people follow because they trust you. Fourth, collaboration. No one succeeds alone. We need each other. Socially intelligent people know how to work with others. They build teams. They share credit. They welcome feedback. They say, let us do this together. Not, let me do this alone. That one shift changes everything. Fifth, emotional presence. In every social setting, read the room. Feel the tone. Sense the energy. Is the group anxious? Excited? Disconnected? Adjust your approach. Speak with awareness. Act with emotional intelligence. Do not ignore the invisible energy. It often says more than words ever can. So, how do you grow social skills? Step 1. Practice active listening. Put your phone away. Face the person fully. Nod. Make eye contact. Repeat what you hear. Make them feel seen. Step 2. Watch your body language. Your posture. Your tone. Your facial expressions. They all speak. Keep your arms open. Relax your shoulders. Smile gently. Even silence can be powerful. When your body says, I am listening. Step 3, ask better questions. Move beyond. How are you? Ask, what has been on your mind lately? What made you smile today? What challenge are you facing right now? Deeper questions build deeper bonds. Step 4, stay adaptable. Not every room is the same. Not every person wants the same thing. Adjust your words, your tone, your pace. Adaptability is not fake. It is respect. Step 5, build trust. Trust comes from consistency, from honesty, from doing what you say. Keep your word. Be real. Show up. People follow those they trust. Social skills turn emotional intelligence into action. They allow you to lead, to connect, to build meaningful lives. They make you magnetic, not because you are perfect, but because you are real. The world is full of noise. Be the one who listens, who calms, who connects. That is emotional power. You have come this far. You have learned the 5 pillars: self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, social skills. But now comes the most important part: living it. Knowing is not enough. You must apply. You must act. You must become. Because emotional intelligence is not a concept. It is a lifestyle. So how does it look in real life? Let us begin with you. Start every day with a check-in. Ask yourself, how am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? What do I need right now? Self-awareness is your morning mirror. Look into it daily. It sets the tone for everything else. Then life hits. Something goes wrong. Someone says something that hurts. Plans change. Pressure rises. Now what? This is where self-regulation begins. You feel the emotion, but you do not let it take over. You breathe. You pause. You step back. You ask, is this reaction helpful? Is this who I want to be? And then you choose your response. That one breath can change your whole day. Then comes the journey forward. Maybe you are chasing a goal, trying to build something, trying to heal something, and the path feels long. You get tired. You feel stuck. This is when motivation must rise. Go back to your why. Write it. Speak it. Feel it. Remind yourself, I am not doing this for comfort. I am doing this for growth. Set small steps. Celebrate each one. Keep showing up. Your fire is yours to protect. Then life gets social. You enter a room. You speak to your team. You face a disagreement with a loved one. This is where empathy shows its strength. You listen. You observe. You feel. You do not just react. You do not assume. You ask, what is this person going through? What are they really trying to say? You listen with your heart, not just your ears. You respond with care, even when you disagree. That is emotional leadership. Now the world responds. People follow those who understand them. People open up to those who make them feel safe. This is social skill in motion. You speak clearly. You listen deeply. You navigate conflict with calm. You adapt. You adjust. You connect. And when things go wrong, you do not crumble. You communicate. Because emotional intelligence is not about perfection. It is about recovery, connection, growth. Here is the truth. You will not get it right every time. You will react. You will misread. You will forget to pause. And that is okay. This is not about being flawless. It is about being aware. It is about catching yourself, reflecting, learning, trying again. Each time you practice, you grow stronger, wiser, more grounded. Let emotional intelligence become your compass. When you are confused, get still. When you are angry, breathe. When you are unsure, listen. When you are afraid, remember your why. When you are speaking, connect. When you are leading, feel. This is how you live with emotional power. And as you grow, so will your peace, your relationships, your impact. People will notice. They will feel it. They will ask, what changed? And you will smile, because now you understand. It was never just about emotions. It was about becoming who you were always meant to be. A calm force, a wise leader, a deep listener, a connected soul. This is your time. Take what you have learned. Live it. Practice it. Fail forward. Rise anyway. You are ready. Let emotional intelligence lead you to the life you deserve. Like this video if you felt something shift. Subscribe for more powerful life-changing summaries. Share this with someone who needs to grow emotionally. Comment one thing you will apply today. This is not the end. This is your new beginning. The journey within will always be the most powerful journey of all.